Nama saya Muhammad Alif bin Hashim.
Nama saya Muhammad Syukri bin Fazli.
Nama saya Muhammad Hafiz bin Razak.
Okey, kami nak bentangkan tentang case study 1 Computer Architecture and Organization.
CPU training in market today. So kami pilih Intel Core i9. So Intel Core i9 ni, operating frequency of the CPU is higher than the frequency of the Intel Core i9 9900X processor. Second, the Intel i9 9900K features on chip Intel UHD 630 graphic unit. While the graphic is not fast enough to play latest game with all setting on, it can be used for casual gaming and 3D application. And next, for power, kelebihannya, operating frequency of the CPU is higher than the frequency of the Core i9 9900X processor. The Intel i9 9900K features on chip Intel UHD 630 graphic unit. While the graphic is not fast enough to play latest game with all setting on, it can be used for casual gaming and 3D application. Power consumption for the CPU is lower.
Okay, next, processor is AMD Ryzen 9 3950X. Powerful 60 core processor with 32 thread, built with Zen 2 architecture, the 3rd generation 7nm Ryzen processor. Best clock speed is 3.5 GHz and can reach a max boost clock speed of 4.7 GHz. Advantage, designed to reduce memory latency for highest frame rate. AMD Ryzen processor monitor energy consumed and temperature. AMD Store MI technology can combine SSD and HDD storage into a single hybrid drive. Precision boost, overdrive work with motherboard to boost clock speed and lets overclock with a single click.
Next, AMD Ryzen 53600, the successor to our favorite budget CPU. The Ryzen 53600 is an outstanding achievement for AMD. It enjoys the same Zen 2 architecture improvement as the rest of the Ryzen 3000 range and the same 6 core and 12 thread as its more expensive sibling, the 3600X. Yet, while its clock speed falls behind its new generation brethren, AMD automate overclocking get is very close in performance and to its bigger brother as much reduced cost. Advantage, while the Ryzen 53600 is a great processor that pack a wonderful amount of performance into a 65 WTDP envelope, a boon for small form factor enthusiasts. You can also overclock it and attain similar performance in many applications like gaming to the Ryzen 5 3600X. Ryzen processor monitor energy consumption and temperature.
Computer history. The existence of technology has greatly helped people in their work. Next, technology make people feel uncomfortable so they can be simplified in their work. For the computer function, the computer has 4 main functions that already exist in the above sense. It is accept input, processing input, storing input, and presenting output. Input is one of the useful function of a computer for receive external data and information. Processing is a useful function for processing incoming data and will be stored in external memory. The output function is to display the data you have entered and you can see the result.
1914 to 1955, they use vacuum tubes for circuit. They use magnetic drums for memory. The computers of its era were hard, very expensive, slow hand, and limited application capabilities. Second generation, 1956 to 1963, transistors were already used and replaced vacuum tubes. Transistors allow computers to become smaller, faster, cheaper, more energy efficient, and more reliable. One transistor is equivalent to 15 vacuum tubes. Heat generation problem that could inflict damage to a computer is still existing.
The next third generation from 1964 to 1971. The emergence of integrated circuit was the hallmark of the third generation of computers. Transistors were miniaturized and placed on silicon chips called semiconductor. Computer speed drastically increased as well as its efficiency. Computer became accessible to the mass since it is smaller and cheaper. Fourth generation, from 1971 to present. The microprocessor brought the fourth generation of computers as stock of integrated circuit were built into a single silicon chip. Computers are now very small. Microprocessor was intended for calculator but applied to computers later. Graphical user interface GUIS, mouse and handheld device are introduced.
Next is fifth generation. That's it, present and beyond. Artificial intelligence is under development, although voice recognition are being used today. Quantum computation and molecular and nanotechnology will radically change the face of computer in years to come. The goal is develop device that respond to natural language input and capable of learning and self-organization. That's it for present. Okay, thank you. Bye.